And today the topic of my presentation actually is the time is now. Okay, and my task today is to convince, if you are not convinced yet, that now is the time to invest in women. Okay, so if you are working in sport, I think you should start having this serious conversation in your organization, wherever you are in a club, because I think probably this has been in my agenda since I was an athlete. I always thought the time is now. Now I think this is our momentum for women, right? I hate actually this word, our momentum, right? So it was always in my agenda, but I want to say that probably certain things happens over the last month and maybe years that I'm now optimistic, and I really think, and today I'm going to guide you a little bit through our journey in FIBA, and I hope that I will convince you about that. If you are not, probably you are already, because you are sitting over here. So the time is now. So of course you are all already following the big events that are happening around the world. Big Women's World Championship football, very successful. I don't know if you follow basketball last year in Australia. You will see figures later on. The big events are for sure one of the reasons why women events are now getting considered by big brands. It's a commercial aspect as well. But to me, the biggest change that we experience, probably thanks to COVID, has accelerated the digital transformation, right? You all agree with me that this has been really a new way of portraying the sport, and especially we saw in women are more active, especially of course our basketball players are super active on their platforms. They are using their platform, their media, their Instagram accounts as a branding platform to portray themselves, and believe me, all those women are really engaging with new content. They are super active. They are really open to conversation, including starting conversation about social movement and social interests, while men are more traditional, I will call it. They don't want to enter into conflicts. Women do. Women position themselves in the society and they advocate. They are very vocal in many cases, but not only that, they are also ready to connect with their fans. They do this live. I'm not too active on social media, but I know they connect on Instagram Live, and they are not afraid about sitting at home and opening a conversation with tons of fans or whoever connects and start talking to them. So all those things, believe me, has changed completely the way brands are getting more interested. So all those women, they also want to be part of the community, but also they want to try to find their uniqueness. And we are seeing this a lot in our teams. When you see a basketball team, women's team, you will see totally different types of players. Some, they have this long hair, other short hair, other red hair, other full of tattoos, so everybody wants to have their unique brand. And again, they are using the digital world to portray their brand, right? So this is huge, and this has changed to me completely the landscape. So now we see a lot of brands being interested in being connected with those athletes, and they are using sometimes our events, our competition, our leagues, our clubs to connect themselves with those athletes. So, and today, well, I'm gonna basically, I think the conversation we are having now is, okay, with all these kind of systematic stereotypes that we are dealing, and all those kind of traditional way of thinking, how are we going to convince the policymakers to buy in, to also agree that we need to change the things, that we need to buy all those. So today I'm going to show you a little bit our journey, and you will see Also, when everything started was in 2019. And in 2019, FIBA decided to put women in basketball as one of the key priorities in FIBA. Okay? So why 2019 and not before? That's the question. So, you will see later on how important it is to change the culture of the organization, and we mentioned this many, many times today. If we don't manage, or if we don't achieve to change the culture of our organization and to have men and women that are under the same umbrella, we will not succeed. So that's why I think in 2019 for us it was a key moment when we had a new CEO coming and having, I would say, more of an open-minded approach in that. And then he was the one pushing the agenda and putting women in basketball as a priority. So we had during 4 years this priority, together with empowerment of federations and enlarging the FIBA family. And the good news is that last summer, when we were at the FIBA Congress, again, the FIBA Congress accepted to extend women in basketball as a priority for 4 more years. So now the challenge is, okay, what's next? So what we did in 2020 was a very large survey, trying to collect data, trying to see, because don't forget that we are working globally with this pillar, which is 212 national federations worldwide, which makes our job really complicated because it's so diverse. So we did a global survey trying to identify the needs of each federation. More than 170 federations participated. Of course, I would say that that was the result of COVID. In our case, it was positive because people had no competitions. So people, our federation members, were all locked at home, so they had the time to go and collect data, which nobody likes. So in our case was useful because and the outcome was a total a complete strategic plan, action plan, and with more than 35 actions taking place over the whole strategy. So, and the targets we basically developed were 4. Well, we put these 4 targets. Was grassroots, women empowerment, competitions, and commercials. Okay, these are our 4 pillars in the strategy. And I will take you through some, but not all, because it's I don't have the time. But I will concentrate more on the overall approach. Every time we develop an action, we always try to look at those 3 pillars, which for us are really crucial: culture, policy, and pipeline. Okay, and I recommend you in your organization, wherever you are in a club, whatever action you are planning to do, try to always think if you are addressing those 3 pillars. So culture, I said it before, does everybody in the organization understands really the benefits of having a gender equal, diverse, and inclusive organization? Because if you have somebody that is not buying in, probably you need to think about, okay? And believe me, I'm not saying, but find ways to navigate. That's so simple. So it's so simple. And believe me, in our traditional sport, we have some that don't believe women can do sport, women is not cannot be professional. So we have those that really, even they vocally advocate and say it clearly. So okay, so this is one of the things that you need to first identify, and if you have those, well, find ways to move around. Okay, and the second one is policy, and here again we need to put the women in the center. So far all the rules that we had in FIBA were always made by men, white men, that were implementing the rules. And now we are seeing with a new discipline, 3x3, which has a completely new and modern approach and team. Well, everything is going smoothly. Actually, they managed to to have in the Olympics in Tokyo, in the final of the men's competition, a female and a man referee officiating the final. Well, believe me, last month we had the World Cup men 5-on-5, and we had 48 referees, 3 female, and then were not even, they were, I think, only in the group phase, right? So you can see how the new discipline has started with a totally new approach, and in 5-on-5 we are still really dealing with the traditional bias in sport, okay? So that's why I would say that policy is one of the key things, and of course as a governing body we have the power to change the policies. But of course we need to have women sitting at the decision-making tables so that these policies make sense, or they propose policies that are in favor of women. Okay, so just to give you another example, we are dealing this summer is about the white shorts. So probably, I don't know, you have it as well in your own. When we opened this discussion, I remember in a competition commission, people were reacting, well, what are you talking about, right? Is this a topic? Is this an issue? Well, yes. Women drop out from sport, especially at grassroots level, because they don't want to have issues or accidents with their menstruation when they do sport. So why do we force them to play with white shorts, right? So if this is an issue, why we don't go and ask them to play with light upper t-shirts and then darker shorts? This will eradicate the problem, right? So this kind of conversation, this was proposed by a female person in the competitions commission. That's why I'm saying that it's so important that all those new policies are coming also from women that are experiencing all those situations, right? So that's why to me policy is a key part, and you will see my presentation as well. And at the end, pipeline, we need to put women in the pipeline. We need to have more women being part of that. So let's have a look at the video we created. We'll summarize the strategy in a more visual way.
Women's basketball is experiencing a huge boost in popularity, and FIBA aims to make sure that this continues with our strategic objective, Women in Basketball. We've developed the Women in Basketball strategy to ensure the sport can flourish at every level, targeting 6 main areas: participation, coaching, impact, fans, governance, and diversity. To boost female players' participation, we will develop global campaigns to help increase the number of licensed players globally for both youth and senior, and assist national federations in developing grassroots basketball programs. We'll support women on their path to achieve the elite levels of coaching and officiating, and boost nominations for female referees across all competitions, including senior men's. Through targeted communications campaigns, we'll showcase both players and the sport at large to attract a wider audience and increase the number of fans, as well as leveraging events to help commercialize women's basketball. We will continue to integrate more women at governing levels across the FIBA family by modernizing regulations towards gender-balanced best practices and developing a pipeline for women to access governance roles, as well as enhancing the visibility of pioneering women leaders. We'll focus even more on increasing diversity within FIBA, fostering a culture of equality across our organization, and attracting new talents to the FIBA family. Finally, we aim to raise the profile of FIBA's flagship competitions, the Women's Basketball World Cup, the 3x3 Women's Series, and the EuroLeague Women, and establish club and youth competitions across all regions to maximize the impact of women's competitions in both basketball and 3x3. We believe our strategy can push forward women's basketball into a new era, boosting the sport's growth and helping to reach its true potential, both on and off the court.
Okay, so these are the four development areas I mentioned before: grassroots, empowerment, competitions, and commercial. And let's go quickly through grassroots, and I will share with you one of the most successful campaigns we had. We call it the Her World, Her Rules campaign, and we don't call it a program, it's a movement, it's a social media campaign where we are giving our national federations like a platform where they can showcase their activities. So we are giving them total freedom to the federations. Of course, they have certain guidelines and certain rules they need to fulfill and they need to follow. But again, we are talking here about the whole world, so it's very complicated to just tell them what to do. They know best what is worthwhile in their territory. So far we have more than 110,000 girls participating, and again here you will see later we have also like a global sponsor. Here is you can see the spread of the campaign, and we are funding federations with money, not too much, depends 3,000 to 5,000 Swiss francs, and basically the funding is to produce all the branding, the T-shirts, the banners, the flags, for the activities is only for that. So basically, we are creating a community, and we are asking also them to interact on the social media again. Okay, all those girls, they are welcome to be part of our social media channels, Instagram, and then you see the girls all sharing the same kind of values, passion, and worldwide. I think this is for them a big movement to be part of this community. So I will show you also another video just to get the taste of the campaign. Let me see.
Do you ball? I do. Why? Where to start? For the past 4 years, FIBA has been encouraging girls to pick up a ball and play. And not only hoop, but get buckets. It's not only me. FIBA has reached girls in more than 100 countries, all over the globe, and gave me the opportunity to get to know the game of basketball. We had masterclasses with future Hall of Famers, where we were able to meet our idols in person and learn from them. Many tournaments, camps, and just fun times together. We learned not only the fundamentals of basketball, but also how to become a better person. In one of the camps, I even met a friend from Brazil. Hopefully, one day we will play together professionally. If not, I have a friend in Brazil. How cool is that? I like this feeling that wherever you go, if you see girls balling, you can jump in and have a great time. Just come to the court and be one of us. Welcome to my playground.
Okay, so let's move to the women empowerment, which for us is crucial. Again, we need more women coaches, women referees, women administrators. So how we are doing this, as I told you before, the first thing we did, we changed the policies, trying to engage more women. Second, we try to identify the talent on those big pools of women, and then we provide with programs, mentoring programs, and all those to help them to basically reach the highest level. And I will not go through everything, but you can have my presentation. So we changed the rule that all the women's national team have to have a female coach in the roster. That's a mandatory if you want to play in FIBA competition. It's not only about women, it's about safeguarding, it's about, about many other things that are so important. And then we have a mentoring program for those females that are coming to the system and have a talent and want to become professional. The same approach with the referees. We changed the rule, so we have increased the number of women, and now we are working with those that have black license, which is the highest, and trying to put them, as I said, in the next World Cup. I want also female referee officiating men's top-level competition, especially at the final round. And the same is with our leadership part. So we changed again the rules. So now you have to have a minimum of 30% following the IOC recommendation on all the FIBA panels, all the commissions, board, committees. So we need to reach this minimum 30%, which we did. And now last month in Manila, we reached 35%. So we are getting there and even better. And then we have, again, programs trying to give some tools to those leaders, right? And then moving to the commercial, I already mentioned it. So there are some really important researchers that are anticipating this growth. It's not us saying it, it is a lot of experts, media people that are already saying that over 75% of the experts expect women's revenues to grow by more than 50% in the next 3 to 5 years. So there are a lot of research that are anticipating this. So that's why I'm saying that if you are working in, if you are a brand and you are interested, try to start thinking about investing on the women's sport, because I think it's worthy. Here is our event. You have the numbers. So at the end of the day, if you care, if you find the right host, if you work hand in hand with the host, and you develop a proper commercial and promotion plan, these are the results, right? So you can, I don't need, so really our numbers have boost, and it's not only at senior level, also at youth level. Our world championships just have a total different approach. And here is what we are now also experiencing, is new ways of brands approaching us. As I said, the Google is our main sponsor, came through us through a 3 deal. So basically they were interested in being present at the World Cup because of ESPN in the States, and wanted to see the women's USA national team winning their 4th consecutive title. So basically they were using FIBA or our event to showcase their brand, because they knew I will be seen on ESPN and I will be part of this milestone, right? So that's why we are exploring new ways of commercial our sport. And TCL basically came through the grassroots platform, so they really wanted to attach themselves to all these activities with girls. And that's it. So the good news is that I'm very happy to see a lot of men. I just want to say thank you also to all the men that are part of our organization, our men champions, our allies that are with us in this new journey. And we are not alone, so let's be part of this change altogether. So thank you very much.